Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be doing a look that I would consider my everyday look, kind of like my easy, everyday, simple look. For me, this still might be not like your definition of everyday, but this is just what I like to do on an everyday. I do have to say though, I mix it up a lot. I definitely, especially when it comes to eyes, like to kind of express myself and be creative and mix it up a lot. So this look is definitely one I would say I do most often, but this is like, I don't really have an everyday look. All right, let's get to it. The first thing I would do on an everyday is prime my face. I do that no matter what I'm doing with my makeup. I'm a big believer in priming the face. Some people don't. Some people think that if you're using good quality makeup, you don't need it. And I mean, to each their own. I definitely think that if it works for you, then do it. Like, this is a big thing that I'm gonna kind of encourage and kind of really put out there, is just because I do things this way on an everyday doesn't mean you have to do that. I'm not saying this is the only way to do makeup. I'm just saying this is my personal preference on how to do things and what I like on an everyday. But definitely something that I want to encourage you guys about, and like, what's the word that I'm looking for? Emphasize. Something I want to emphasize in this video is if something works for you, then just do it. You know, like, I definitely enjoy trying things new ways. So I love to watch makeup videos, like YouTube videos, different channels, and I like to see what other people do because I'm always looking for different techniques and ways to do things, because there's, you know, not necessarily always a better way, but there's, you know, I think there's different ways to do things that can get you different results, or, you know, that kind of thing. So maybe if you've never done something the way that I'm doing it, try it out. Maybe you'll love it. But if you love the way you do something, then just do it. You know, if you don't use primer and it works for you, then don't, you know. But I personally think that it smooths the face, especially the primers that I really enjoy are for smoothing, so it blurs the pores. It almost, I find, blurs my blemishes, and like, my skin is getting better, guys. I feel like I kind of reverted. I was trying to find better quality products and better products maybe for my skin, but I just went back to my simple skincare routine, and I think it was just too much new product. So I'm just trying to get my skin back to normal and then introduce one product at a time for a decent amount of time, which I know is the way you're supposed to do it, but I just got a little excited about trying new things, and I wanted something to be like, you know, a lifesaver for me and my acne prone skin, and I think I just overwhelmed my skin. So my skin's actually looking better. I know it may not look like it right now, but these are scars. This is all scarring. None of these are actual blemishes anymore, because my skin does scar really easily. I'm gonna prime my face with my Tarte smoothing primer, and I do enjoy using the Blendiful. It does definitely help push it into the skin more than your fingers can, and I feel like it does do it faster. I never even thought of really doing primer with the Blendiful until I watched one of Tati's videos, and it definitely does, you know, help make things quicker, especially for an everyday, which is what we're kind of talking about today. And it also helps, you know, really press it into the pores and blur a little bit better. Products I'm using today I really do like, I do recommend, and I love, and I feel like a lot of them I've loved for a long time, not necessarily all of them though. Some of them are newer and I've just been really liking as of right now. But the reason I'm not going to really go into detail about why I love all these products is something I really want to do in the near future is kind of do some sort of series on my top favorites of all different categories of makeup. So for example, like, you know, maybe my top 5 or 10 depending on the category, my top favorites of you know, primers, of foundations, of concealers, of setting powders, brow products, eyeshadow palettes, eye primer, like every single category, and kind of maybe do like one a week or something like that, and go through my top, you know, 5, 10 or whatever, include drugstore and luxury, from my ride or die products I've loved since I was like in high school to products I just discovered and think are the best. So that's something to stay tuned and look forward to. So if you think that's a good idea and something that you would like to watch, make sure you comment below. Let me know if that's something you'd want to see. And if you do, you know, think that's a good idea, then definitely make sure you've hit the subscribe button, that red button, you know, down below. And while you're at it, you might as well ring the bell, because then you'll be notified on my upcoming videos and you won't miss out on any of them. I'm going to go ahead and do foundation. I'm going to go ahead with the Chanel Healthy Glow Foundation. Use my beauty blender. This foundation is nice for an everyday because it's not super heavy, but obviously it is a little expensive. There are really good drugstore options as well. So if you'd like to know about those, stay tuned for that video of my favorites. Okay, so now I'm going to do concealer, and I'm going to just put a little bit of Shape Tape right here. That's where I feel I need to conceal the most, and then I'm going to go in with my Age Rewind right here. They're a little bit different in tone, but I want to brighten in that area more anyways, so that is okay. Next, what I'm going to do is conceal my blemishes with a little bit of this Shape Tape. It's pretty full coverage, so you don't need a lot. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is make sure there's no creasing underneath my eyes. I have some pretty bad lines underneath my eyes, so I really have to smooth everything out. Do my under eyes with the Blendiful. And then I'm going to go ahead with a Morphe G7. For the rest of my face, I'm using the Coty Airspun. Okay, so my face is set. The next step that I would do is my eyebrows. I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'm definitely a pomade girl. The next thing I would do is my eyeshadow. So I'm going to prime my eyes with my MAC Painterly Paint Pot. The first palette that I'm going to be using is the Naked Honey palette. I do really like this. I love the browns and the golds. That is some of my go-to looks for an everyday. So the first thing that I'm going to do is go into Sweet. It's the lightest brown there with a Morphe E30. And I'm just going to place that along the crease in circular motions all the way in. And then I like to use the excess to just kind of lightly, very lightly blend it all over the eye. So now what I'm going to do is take a Sigma tapered blending brush, and I'm going to go in with Hive. It is that one, that brown right there. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the crease, but just darken it a little bit and obviously I'm not gonna blend it all the way up to the brow bone. And I just blend that out with the Morphe E30. I don't add any extra product. I actually use the Tati Beauty palette more frequently, and I pretty much can create this with Soothe and Aura. The reason that I wanted to use this one is because it is so up my alley for an everyday look. I've been using it more frequently, even though this one is like my go-to for any look. I can create any look with that. I love it. But yeah, so I love this palette because it has those beautiful soft browns. What I'm gonna do is go in with Sting. It's the darkest brown in this honey palette. And I'm gonna use a Smashbox shadow blending brush and just focus it on the outer edge of my eye. So once I kind of have that line there, I'm gonna just pull it in. I like to create more of like a kind of cat eye shape. If you like a more rounded shape, you can do whatever, you can place it wherever, but these colors I love for an everyday. So once I kind of have that placed and blended in, then I'm gonna go back with my Sigma tapered blending brush into Hive and just very lightly place it along that edge. And it's gonna help blend that out. My Morphe E30, just blend that edge out. And that is pretty much as far as it gets for the crease on an everyday look. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that on this eye. Okay, so then what I would do is put some sort of soft metallic all over my lid. So there's a couple options of what I would do for an everyday look. So today I'm gonna go along with my finger into Metallic Ritual, and I'm gonna pat that all over my lid. You could apply just some, if you want to stick to the Naked Honey palette, you could apply some Flyby on the lid and leave it as a really simple matte look. You could, if you're using the Tati Beauty, apply some, Aura, the matte Aura on your lid, and again, a matte look. But I like shimmer, and so this is what I like to do, whether I'm going anywhere or not. Like, I love metallic and glitter and shimmer. So then what I would do is apply some Metallic Soothe to the inner corner, and that just kind of brightens it up a little bit. Use a brush or just your finger. These blend really simple and beautifully, like really easily and beautifully. You just, look, that's it. And they just kind of flow and blend. Just take that dark brown and just kind of go over that, just to make sure everything's beautifully blended. And then I would take some Metallic Aura and just place it in the inner corner. And that just brightens that up. And I know I make this funny face. Sometimes, like, what am I doing? I don't know, sometimes I just, I do it subconsciously. Like, I don't even realize I'm doing it. Usually focus the darker colors just on the lower half. They don't bring it all the way in. And that's pretty much that. I'll use the Morphe E30 to kind of blend all of those edges out one last time. And then what I'm going to do is take this Flyby in the Honey palette, and I'm going to use a Morphe R39 and just use that for my brow highlight. This is something I would do very often, but one thing I want to show you as well is how to just kind of amp this up. This is another reason why I love the Tati Beauty palette. Like, I could create this look with the Tati Beauty palette too. The Soothe and Ritual are pretty much similar, but I wanted to use this as well because I really love this palette too. I love those browns. So what I would do in this case to amp this up, which is something I do very frequently, I love glitter. Like, I wear glitter on an everyday. This is probably, like, a glitter on my lid is probably my go-to look, whether I'm going anywhere or not. So this is why I wanted to include it, because it really is honestly what I prefer over anything, no matter what I'm doing. So I'm gonna take Glitter Soothe, and that's this one right here. And I'm just going to pat it all over the lid. This is my favorite glitter, probably from this palette for an everyday look. So gorgeous. I'm just going to, again, kind of blend, make sure, reinforce that brown. But like, so you can see the difference. This would be like somebody that likes something really soft and subtle. And this would be somebody that likes that glitz and glam and fancy. And I'm kind of both, but both of these looks are an everyday for me. That's why I wanted to include them. I'm gonna obviously go ahead and apply the Soothe to this eye because I want them to be even. I'm gonna go ahead and do some winged eyeliner because that is something I do pretty much every time I do my eyes. It's really, unless I don't have time. If I didn't have time, I would just pop some mascara on right now, but I think that my winged eyeliner is a classic look for me. It just is what I love to do, and I think it really matches my eye shape. I love it. I'm gonna curl my lashes. Oh, and I almost forgot. Another thing I do like to do, I don't do this every time, but something I've been really, really liking to do is putting like a cream or a white eyeliner on my lower lash line. It just opens my eyes up and makes them look a little bit bigger, which I love. And then I'll use black on my upper lash line. Just a little bit, like right near my lash line, to make my lashes look more full. Okay, so now I'm going to apply mascara. I'm going to be using the Falsies Lash Lift by Maybelline. That is the finished eye look. This is a look I actually would do on an everyday. I know it looks a little bit kind of out there, like this is probably a look a lot of people would do to go out somewhere, which I know I would do also. So I like a pretty strong contour no matter what. Even if I didn't do eyeshadow, I'll do this. Like sometimes I do like just face makeup and mascara. That I typically do eyeshadow. I do like to do cream contour as well, but on an everyday I just use powder. Now for blush, I'm going to use a MAC blush in my Z palette. I did depot them because I hate having like a trillion single blushes. And the MAC ones are pretty easy to depot. One of the colors that I really like is Blush Baby. And I'm going to be using my Real Techniques blush brush. Oh my goodness, I'm out of breath. I just went up to get this Z palette because I forgot to put it in my bin for today's makeup. And I'm out of breath. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply MAC Baby Blush. MAC Baby. Oh my goodness. Blush Baby, MAC Blush. Get it together, Caitlin. And I like a pretty strong blush no matter what. I don't know. I know some people don't even like blush. And I mean, to each their own, but man, you're missing out. And if you're using a good quality blush, you can apply it strong and blend it out nicely. And the MAC blushes are some of my favorite. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take my powder brush, because I did apply it pretty strong. Sometimes I just use my powder brush, but if I've applied it really strong, I like to go in with a little bit of my powder. It depends, like if I just needed to kind of soften the edges, I would have just used the brush. But if I need to kind of soften the blush as a whole, I'll use a little bit of powder, and it kind of does that. So see how much softer and like more blended that looks than that. So yeah, I'm just getting a little bit of my Chloe Airspun. We are blushed and blended. And now we are going to apply highlight. I actually really like the highlights from this Stardust Pro Glow, which by the way, I was talking, I used the glow for my contour. I'm going to be using the highlight from this palette as well. I'm going to go into, which one actually do I want to go in with? So if you want to go in with something soft, I'm going to show you kind of two ways I would do it for an everyday. If I'm going for just something subtle, soft, I'm going to use my fan brush. And I'm just going to build it. See how subtle that is? You barely notice it, but it's just going to catch the light a little bit, give you that glow, and it's really pretty. And I like that, I do. Sometimes I like just something natural, and it looks really soft, and this is something I would wear on an everyday for sure. It's really pretty. And that's that lit from this palette. That being said, lately I've been loving a good blinding highlight, even on an everyday. So I'm going to take my fan brush and I'm going to pack it on there. And I'm going to use my MAC Fix Plus and wet it, and this is going to give that blinding highlight that you see on a lot of, you know, people's Instagram pictures, on their YouTube videos. And you want to place the product first and then wet it. And it'll go on more, you know, seamlessly and beautifully. So that's that stunning, blinding highlight that you can take from really natural to, you know, really amped up. And now I'm going to go in with my lips. I'm going to be using my MAC Rosy Rim lip liner. Okay, so I've lined my lips. I brought it in a little bit, but I focused it on the outside. Next, I'm going to use my Pat McGrath Lady Stardust. I really have been loving this lately. I didn't include it in my monthly favorites, but it is really nice. That being said, I don't love the original, like the regular, the Blitztrance ones. I think because I got them like all in really dark colors. But they're not my favorite lipsticks, to be honest. But this one is stunning. I don't know if it's a difference in formula between the Blitztrance and the Luxtrance, or it's just the colors. I don't know, but I love this one and I don't love those. So I don't know. And I think this matches that soft brown with like glitter. Then what I like to do is take my Maybelline Ravishing Rose. And I love this one for highlighting the inner, you know, part of my lip. And this technique opens your lips up. Makes them a little bit bigger. This would be a everyday lip for me for sure. I really like that. And lately I've been doing this. Now doesn't that look blinding? Yeah, it does. But to soften it for a more everyday look, but still with a bit of like a highlighted shimmer, you just use your finger and you blend it. The middle of your lips, it just takes that highlighted area to like another level. I think it looks stunning. I love doing that. It makes me feel like my lips are bigger. I love it. And I'm really happy with this look, obviously because I've done it before. So all the products that I used will be linked below. None are affiliate links. This video was not sponsored. I just wanted to show you guys, you know, a look I would do on an everyday, products I would use on an everyday, and this is it. I love this. This is like probably if I had to pick one makeup look, I feel like this would be it. I love it. So pretty. I'm obsessed. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was useful for you guys, that you learned, you know, maybe some tricks or, you know, got some ideas and learned a new everyday look. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for some exciting videos to come. And to make sure you don't miss out on any of them, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. Make sure you've clicked all. And if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I appreciate you all. And have a wonderful day. Stay safe and healthy. Love you guys. Bye. Oh, wait. I forgot. I'm going to set my face. I have a couple options down here because I didn't know which I was going to feel. Honestly, that's how I am with setting sprays. Like every day it's different. Do I want a more like glowy look? Do I want a more matte look? It also depends on how my skin is because I feel like every day it's different. So today I'm actually going to go with my Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. I really like this one when I'm looking for a more like, I'm not looking for matte, and I feel like my face is pretty matte today. And we're all done. Thanks so much for watching, guys.